Okay. Hi. Welcome back to the kingdom. Just making sure it's recording. I have PTSD from when it wasn't picking up my microphone like 2 episodes ago. So just making sure it's recording. I deeply apologize that I missed the bonus episode. It literally, like, I looked at the date today, and for some reason, I thought that we had an extra week of April. And I looked at the day and I was like, oh my gosh, today is the last Friday of April. I don't know why I thought there was one more Friday coming up. So I didn't plan for anything, and I would do an impromptu one, but like I need to ask you guys. I need to first of all come up with a prompt, ask y'all to send in, and then I read them. And I'm so sad because these only come once a month, and I miss them. So I'm actually gonna make one episode next month, um like a kind of a community episode. So we'll have like two bonus type episodes, if that makes sense, if that makes it any better. I'm so sorry. But next month is so exciting, guys. Like, I don't know if it'll be the second Monday or the second episode of the month or the third episode of the month. I have such 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 a good guest. Like, I have such a good guest. I am praying that it all works out. It's official, it's confirmed, but things happen and they're very busy, I assume. So I'm like, hopefully, nothing comes up and that we can actually do this thing, because I am so excited and so happy for them to come on the podcast. I think y'all will love it. I'm squealing. Um, let's get into what we're welcoming and exiling. I haven't done that the past two episodes because I just get ahead of myself. This throne, it's just throne. It's just making me like get ahead of myself. So, what am I welcoming and exiling? So we're welcoming a couple things. We're welcoming a couple things. One, we're welcoming prayer walks. Um, and that's what this main episode is about. But we're welcoming prayer walks this week and this month. We're welcoming Food Gallery 32. I've been to that restaurant, or no, it's a food court. It's a Korean food court. I've been to that food court twice this week, and there's just so much joy. There's so much to eat. It's a Korean food court in Midtown slash Koreatown in New York City. We're welcoming that. If you guys live in NYC, go check it out. It's on 32nd Street and 5th Ave. So good. So good. There's so many options. Like, I was having such a hard time deciding what to get the second time around because I'm just in the mood for a lot of things all the time, especially when it comes to Asian food. I want it all. And so, yeah, I can't stop thinking about it. We're also welcoming TikTok. Awkward. If you listen to my if you listen to my TikTok, if you follow me on TikTok, this is no surprise to you. But if you don't follow me, I've been posting like 3 times a day on TikTok. I realized I was just getting like in my head about the app. I would always say, yeah, I want to use TikTok. I just don't know what to post. The answer is everything. You post everything on TikTok. You post everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, is it cooking? Is it a recipe? Is it an outfit of the day? Is it a story time? Is it a lesson? Is it a tip? Is it your process of making something? Like going to the grocery store. Like, it could be anything. And you could just post it. Obviously, you have to be strategic with like the sound and hashtags and like everything else. But you can post everything. And I think that's why I was just kind of like, I don't know what to post because there was so much. But once I got in the habit of it, I realized it's just so easy and it's kind of bad because their instant gratification is almost worse than YouTube or Instagram, because it's just everyone's on there, so there's more engagement. I think that's why I like it. Like, more people are like are commenting on things, because I think it's just such a chillax app that nobody really thinks twice about their comments, as opposed to like Instagram, where you like are sitting there typing for 3 minutes on what to comment on a friend's picture, you know? I don't do that, by the way. I don't. Um but yeah, it's just like so chill. And I think that's what has made it easy for me. I currently have just been posting like my outfits every day, like putting them together every morning. I will put them together, record it, and then edit it right after and post it right after. It's like almost real time. You're getting ready with me in real time. I like it. There's also almost no thought to the editing process. It's so easy, so fast. I don't know why I am advertising TikTok right now, because it really is just such a bad app for like the mental, because you just be on there for hours. But recently, for the sake of being honest, I have welcomed TikTok. And I think TikTok has welcomed me. You guys on the TikTok app are so welcoming and open and friendly, and I think it's just much more friendlier over there. But dang, when it gets bad, it gets bad. Like, I've seen a lot of creators, celebrities, when it gets bad, it gets bad. Absolutely destroyed. I think the reason why, you know, people are so easy to comment, whether good or bad. I'm over here saying, you can just comment on anything. That's the same way for if it is like a bad comment. People don't care. They would just say it. And when one person makes fun of you, everybody makes fun of you. But when one person likes you, everyone likes you. So, do with that what you will. I'm welcoming TikTok. Those are 3 things I have welcomed: prayer walk, food gallery 32, and TikTok. I feel like that could sum up my life right now. We have a couple things to talk about today, so let's get started. I recently, oh no, I didn't do exile. What am I exiling? What am I exiling? Oh, I know what I'm exiling. A bunch of clothes from my closet. I spent all afternoon on Depop. I was taking pictures of my clothes, listing them. I listed like 17 items. 2 of them have already sold within the span of an hour. I'm like, let's go, guys. I'm very excited about this. If you have a Depop account and if you live in the United States, or I could also ship internationally, but check out my Depop. I'll have the link down below or in my bio on Instagram, but I'll probably have it down below on this episode. And yeah, go check it out. See if there's anything that you like. I am just hustling, like all the side hustle, all the side hustle videos that are posted. I'm in them. I'm watching all of them. What are ways to make money? I also don't have a closet. I basically don't have a closet. My closet is probably 4 inches if I actually measured it. When I needed this throne in the room, it came with some consequences, such as virtually no closet space. And that was just the price I had to pay. That was the price I had to pay for this throne. So that's that on that. Yeah, I'm selling some things because I really physically cannot keep that many things in my room. Like, I have nowhere to put it. And it's just also like out with the old, in with the new. I'm trying to have a select few pieces. I'm in my minimalistic era, even though you're probably thinking you're always in your minimalistic era. Why did I say like that? You're probably always in your minimalistic era because you wear the same things every day. And that is true. But I had to double it. We're going double on the minimalism. And we're selling some clothes. So yeah, check it out. I'm thinking I have some extra Jesus Freak tanks. If you want them, I will list it on my Depop, but I don't want to list like 10 of the same items on Depop. So if you want a Jesus Freak shirt or a tank, because the site is no longer up, if you want that, I will sell it to you on Depop. Just message me so I know that you for sure want it. Then I'll post it and you can buy it off Depop. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah. So there's that. That's what I'm exiling. All my favorite clothes, like my 2 brown jackets and my green tank and some things that I love. They're all gone. Well, not yet, but if you want them, you can buy them. Okay. Let's begin. We're going to start hot and heavy, okay? This week has probably been the craziest week of my life, and it like happened in 3 parts, okay? It all started on Tuesday. And so I'm just going to tell you the 3 big things. No, I'm just going to break it down. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the 3 big things that happened this week, and they're all, epiphanies, revelations, circumstances, events, everything, okay? Okay. Event number 1. On Tuesday, I went ring designing for my engagement ring. If you don't follow me on TikTok, breaking news, your girl is getting engaged. She's getting engaged. And when she does, we will have an episode all about the engagement. And I will let you guys ask me questions. I don't know when it's going to be. I know it's going to be sometime in the spring and summer. Spring or summer. We're already in spring. So probably sometime in the summer. It's definitely going to happen in summer, not in the fall. I don't know when. I don't know where. I don't know how. But I know it's coming. And only because, 1, my sister and Lucas have been texting. Odd. They never speak. In fact, they hate each other. I'm just kidding. But they never speak. So, yeah. I saw her name pop up on his phone. I'm like, what are they texting about? And then when I asked him, he looked very red. And you know what that means. And also because, obviously, I didn't just jump into the conclusion. We have been talking about engagement for a while. If it was up to him, we would have been engaged 2 weeks after we started dating, because that's actually when he told me he was going to engage me, propose to me. Literally 2 weeks after we started dating. Our second time ever hanging out. So, they say when you know, I guess he knew right away. So if it was up to him, he would have done it so soon. But I basically gave him the okay to do it earlier this year. So all of last year, he really would have done it like anytime last year. But I was just like, I'm not ready. 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 I feel like a baby. I feel like a baby. I feel like a baby. Also, like, why are we in a rush? Like, let's just chill out. We've only been dating for however long that was last year. And it didn't feel like enough time. Nothing really felt like enough time. Even though I knew, like, yes, this is the man I do want to marry, which is wild that I already know. That's so crazy. I'm just imagining me in senior year in my dorm, my single dorm, when I was making the list of what to look for in a man, and I had no idea who he was or what he would look like. Sorry, guys, my foot is asleep. Like, my whole leg, it feels like a TV static screen, and it's really uncomfortable right now. But yeah, um, it's just crazy that we are here today witnessing this in real time. And I'm happy that you guys are here with me. You guys get to experience it all with me. Very, very crazy stuff. So yeah, all of last year I just wasn't ready. And then even earlier this year I wasn't ready, but it wasn't until like I got back from Ghana. And when I got back from Ghana, I just felt, I don't know, I got back from Ghana and then he had taken me to on like a surprise dinner. It was our first dates back, like from being away for so long, because right before I went to Ghana, he was in LA for 2 weeks. And then I was gonna go, like the day he landed back in New York City was the day that I was going to Ghana for 3 weeks. So it would be 5 weeks of us not seeing each other. Thankfully, by God's miraculous, you know, God just doing what God does, his land time and my departure time left room for us to meet at the airport. And I'm thinking, we can meet at the airport because you're arriving in the same airport I'm leaving at. So we can meet for like a brief moment and chat. But I'm thinking like I'm going to go to a different terminal. Like I'm going to have to run across the airport to meet this guy. No, he was literally his gates, the gate that he was arriving in was right next to the gate that I was leaving at. So I'm literally sitting, like I was sitting right there and I saw him walk in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how crazy is that? And my gate had been changed like 4 times. And the 4th one was the final gate. And that was the gate that was right next to the one that he was coming in from. So crazy stuff. We met up for like an hour or so before I had to go. But when I came back, I had this like renewed sense of peace. So we went on our first date in like 5 weeks. And so we're basically 5 weeks apart from each other. Ghana was hard. Ghana was hard for the relationship in general because like I just didn't have time, I was spending time with my family. I hadn't been in a continent or in the country for 11 years. So we weren't talking as much and everything felt like weird. Not weird, but a bit like strained. Like, we're going 5 weeks without proper communication and the connection would be bad, the time difference. It was just like, it was hard on our relationship, right? But right when I came back, the first week back, it just felt so much bliss and peace. And I was sitting across from him in an Italian restaurant and he looked so good. And I had missed him. And I just felt so much like calmness over me. Like, you know what? This is the guy I want to marry. I've been knowing that, but in that moment, it felt different. It felt like reassured, like, yes. So then I was like, you know what? I give you the go ahead to propose whenever you want. And that was in January. And so he saved up. And now we are at the stage where he is getting the ring. And so he met up with the designer, went over specifics. I'm not going to tell you guys. I haven't even seen it myself, but I will show you and I'll tell you all the specifics when it actually happens. So, yeah, he met up with the designer. He drew the ring. I had been sending him like stuff that I want, but my mind changes every like week. So what he showed the designer was like, whatever. I had sent him pictures. He just chose one and showed it to the designer. And the designer was like, how about she comes in as well? He also he like designed it and drew it. And she was like, how about she come in and she tells me what she wants. And then I can like basically take Lucas's drawing and what she wants and kind of like merge it into one, or really tweak it to match what I want, because I don't know what he designed. So I went in with him on Tuesday. It was such a special day, and we went to Food Gallery 32, and that's why I'm obsessed with it. But it was such a fun day. We were so excited. I couldn't do anything the whole day. I just couldn't stop thinking about like 5 o'clock, because that's when we had to go in. I'm like, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I just couldn't wait. And we went in. We were there for like an hour going over every little thing about this ring. Like, I did not know that a ring had so much detail and specifics. It's like the width of the band and like prongs and I don't know, color. I don't know. So there was a lot, and it was complicated, and you know why it was a bit complicated designing it later. But sorry, I don't mean to tease you like that. But it was fun. And I posted a get ready with me like talking about it on TikTok. It is now down. The get ready with me is now privated because I felt scared. I felt scared about saying it, and I didn't know it was going to get that many views. It was like 2 hours and I already had like 200 comments. And I was like, "Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Everybody unwatch this right now." Like, I knew people would see it, but people were sharing it and sending it. It was just getting bigger. The video was going viral. No, I'm just kidding. It was getting bigger though than I was ready for. And I was like, no, I don't think I want people to know. But I'm comfortable telling the podcast because you guys are just, I just love you. I want to squeeze you. So it's fine to say it on here. And also, I saw people commenting that I hadn't like talked to in years. And I'm like, no. You don't even follow me. We don't even follow each other. No, let's not do this right now. So I took it down because I just felt bad. Like just like bad energy. And yeah, that happened. So you can see why my week has been a bit crazy. And then another thing happened. The second thing is that I met up with my best friend from Ghana. Like, me and her were joint at the hip, and we hadn't seen each other in 11 years. Like, the last time I saw her was my last day of school, where I was leaving and I was saying bye to her and bye to her family. I literally still have the image of her getting in her parents' car with all her siblings, just waving at her and like thinking that I wasn't going to see her ever again, or I don't know when I'm going to see her. And God just makes it that she works in the city. She works in New York City. And I was like, how did we both end up in New York City 11 years later? 11 years later from Tema, Accra, Ghana. From Sakumana, Ghana. How did we both just end up in New York City? It's so, like, it was just, so, yeah, I saw her yesterday. It was so wild. I feel like the only description I have for any of these events is wild. It was wild, and I had a lot of fun. We talked. We had so much to catch up on. Talked for hours. Also took her to Food Gallery 32 because I'm a fiend. And it was so good. It was so heartwarming. Like, just like yummy in my tummy. A good feeling. Not the food, the meetup. A good feeling in my belly. And yeah, I like that. And I realized how deeply nourishing, like, recently I've just been having like long conversations with women, and they're always just so deeply nourishing that I am sad that I feel like I deprived myself of that for a bit, or I was just scared to go get closer to women or establish deep female friendships, and most of them were surface level. But having deep, deep, deep spirit filled conversations with some women recently, and it has been just nourishing to the mind, the body, and the soul. The third thing I'm going to talk about, and that is the prayer walk. On was it Wednesday? Yeah. On Wednesday, I faced an upper limit problem because on Tuesday I had such a good day designing my dream ring and feeling like on cloud nine that naturally the next day I feel the worst I have ever felt. I don't know why this happens. It always happens. And you would think that because it always happens, I would be on alert and catch myself like, oh, this is what's happening. Upper limit, go against the resistance. Nuh-uh. That's not what happens. I fully surrender to the resistance. And I just say, resistance, have me. And I lay in bed for 24 hours. And I don't know why. Like, I'm scared to have good days now because I feel like the next day will be followed by, and not necessarily a bad day. Like, nothing bad happens. It's just like I just feel so low. It's like I went from feeling high to feeling low. I hate myself. So, yeah, on Wednesday, I was in bed all day and scrolling, doom scrolling. You know that you're scrolling so much, and you know that you're feeling these low vibrations because you're scrolling, but you can't stop scrolling because you are feeling low vibrations and you need the dopamine. It's a negative feedback loop. I wake up, I'm feeling a bit under this is how it starts. I wake up, I'm feeling a bit like low. I'm feeling a bit like, the vibes are down today. I even checked my period app, Flow, to see if, I was about to get my period, but no, I am not. So I'm like, why am I feeling down? Okay, I'm feeling down. So I don't want to get up and I don't want to be like super, super productive. So let me just spend like maybe an extra couple minutes in bed on my phone because I'm feeling down. That turns into like an hour of just me snuggled. And my bed is comfy. It's cute. My bedroom is cute. So I'm just snuggled in here on my phone scrolling. And, 5 minutes turns to 30, turns to 45, turns to an hour. And because I've scrolled for so long, the vibes are getting lower. Like I'm even feeling worse. And I'm just going more down. I'm sinking into the hole of the doom scroll and like almost like the depressive scroll. And you're just watching everything and everyone and refreshing constantly and TikTok is the worst because it has endless, endless, endless content. You never stop scrolling on TikTok. After I just said how much I'm posting on there. So yeah, I was just scrolling, and feeling worse and worse and worse. And then because I'm feeling worse, I need to scroll more. You get it? Because first I was feeling a little bit down and I'm like, let me just scroll for a little bit. Then I scrolled for a little bit and I felt worse and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling worse. I need to scroll more to feel better. And it's just boom, boom. Like everything is just deeper. It's going deeper, deeper, deeper. It's getting worse, worse, worse. And that was it for the whole day. The whole day. I got up to make cornflakes and ramen. Like I didn't even eat good that day. I just got up, made cornflakes, made ramen, and just went back into bed. I couldn't do anything. And it's so crazy the way that God works because God is constantly working even though we don't see it. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Yeah. You never stop. You never stop working. I feel like Apostle Joshua Selman when he burst into a song randomly in his sermons. But right when I was about to sleep, like 11, after a day of feeling horrible, sluggish, rotting in bed, basically. I stumble upon a TikTok. And TikTok is funny because the same thing that can harm you can help you. So stumble upon a TikTok, and the girl is saying, "Do you want to beat laziness out of your life?" And I'm thinking, heck yeah, I've been lazy this whole day. This is the perfect TikTok to see right before the laziest day of my life, probably. And so I'm watching, and she's like, it all starts with prayer. First, you have to pray and ask God to help you. I'm like, okay, cool. I know that one. And then she says, get active in the morning. And I'm thinking, no, 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 don't say that. I don't want to get active. I hate being active. I was a Pilates princess a little bit earlier this year. And breaking news, guys, I don't know if I'm a Pilates princess, to be honest, because I find it so draining, like, doing it. And it's probably because, like, I don't work out often. So doing it, and whenever I do it, I don't do it to the best of my ability. I don't do as many reps as they say. I don't go all the way down or all the way up. I'm just not doing it right. So maybe if I did it right, I would feel happy afterwards. But I don't do it right. And so I finish Pilates, I roll up my mat, and I just feel useless. Like I did nothing because I actually did nothing. So I just found it a waste of time. So I stopped doing it. This is a confession. Don't judge me. This is a safe space. This is not a government funded activity. I have the right to discriminate. Dr. Umar. Speaking of Dr. Umar, I'll tell you a story that just happened. But let me get back to my story, okay? So, I just was like, no. She says, get active in the morning. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I don't want to, because I'm thinking she just is going to tell me to exercise or go to the gym or something. And I just really don't. I'm not down for any of that. Mind you, this is the worst headspace I'm in, right? So if I saw the TikTok another time, I would have a different opinion. But in that moment, I'm like, no, don't even mention getting active in the morning with me. Don't. But then she says, you can go for a walk in the morning. Make it a prayer walk. And I'm thinking, a prayer walk. Lucas used to do those. Lucas used to go on a prayer walk every morning at 5 a.m. And I thought he was crazy. And he would do it every day without fail. He stopped doing it because it's been winter. But now that it's warming up, I wonder if he'll start again because I just started. So maybe he'll join me. Actually, no, he goes to the gym. So he goes to the gym at 5 a.m. actually. So he probably doesn't need to walk anymore. But yeah, I was like, prayer walk. I remember when Lucas was doing them and he was trying to convince me to get on them, and I just didn't want to because I just didn't want to. But for some reason, her saying that, I think it was God trying to tell me or give me a sign, it felt like such a good idea. And I hope me saying this right now feels like a good idea for you too. Go on a prayer walk right when you wake up. This is my second day of doing this, and I have a habit of praising and talking very highly about things that I've only done for a day or two, i.e. Pilates. But this one, genuinely, guys, I genuinely feel like my life has changed within just this one activity. So I'm like, prayer walk. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And for some reason I just felt like God saying, just do it. Do a prayer walk in the morning. It really felt like I was getting the urge to really take this girl on TikTok's advice and go on the walk. Because she said a lot of other things that didn't really click for me as much as the prayer walk. And I'm like, yeah, let me just go on a prayer walk. So the next morning I wake up, I asked the Holy Spirit, wake me up at 5 a.m. He woke me up at 4:49. and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I woke up at 5, stretched for a little bit, and then embarked on my walk. I put on sweatpants, I put on a jacket, I headed out, and I walked and walked and walked around my neighborhood for honestly like 40 minutes. And then I sat down on a playground. There's a playground in the neighborhood, so I sat there and I did my morning devotion there. And then I went back home, and it was the most, I wish I could relive it. It was the most blissful thing. I didn't feel tired at all waking up at 5 a.m. And I think it's also because I asked God for the strength to do it. So this is your sign. If you've been feeling lazy, you've been feeling slothful, you've been feeling, procrastination, you want to exile procrastination. Because I know a lot of people say that when I ask, what are you welcoming and exiling? You're saying procrastination. This changed my life. This changed my life genuinely. It's only been 2 days. But this morning I did it as well. Walked for 40 to 50 minutes, I think. Did my devotion outside. I do the devotion on my Bible app, so I don't have to bring like my devotion book or anything. And it's just so quiet. Everything. If you live in a safe neighborhood, by the way, don't go out at 5. I leave at 5:30. I leave my house at 5:30. Don't go out at 5:30 if you don't feel like your neighborhood is safe. I feel like a part of my neighborhood is safe, so I'm okay to do it. And there's certain like parts that I just avoid, but it has been so rewarding, you guys. I am just, not only am I talking to God uninterrupted for 40 minutes, because I was facing a couple of problems. I was thinking, well, there was a couple of things I was facing. I wanted to start waking up at 5:30, and it's been the hardest thing for me to do. Like, I haven't been able to do it like for a long time. I used to. I haven't been able to do it for a long time. And because I don't have like an office job or like a set job, there's no structure to my day. I have to make the structure. And I was thinking it would be nice if I followed the regular 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 structure of an office, because that would give me, some good organization, and so that I can make sure that I'm working 40 hours a week on my business, because I need to. And so I just haven't been able to. Recently, I would wake up at 9 when I want to start work at 9. I wake up at 9, lay in bed till like 10. I don't exercise. I try and do my morning devotion, but then I'm distracted by my phone and notifications. So many things. And literally, the prayer walk answered all of those things. It gets me up at 5. I am not distracted on my phone because I'm focused on my surroundings and neighborhood. I can't walk and scroll at the same time. I'm talking to God more, and I feel like I'm hearing him as well. And then I get to do my Bible study, and then I come back home, and it's like 6:30, and I'm energized. I'm awake. I'm alert. It's impossible to feel sleepy and lazy after that. Although today I did take a short nap when I got back. I napped for like 7 to 7:30. But I believe that was like a food coma because I ate breakfast right when I got back. So then I think like I was stuffed and I wanted to sleep. Not because I was tired, because I promise like you will not feel tired. You probably feel tired from walking so much. And, if 30 minutes is too much, do 10 minutes. Do 15. Do 20. I like to do 45 just because I know that if I do anything shorter than that, I will come back and sleep. But once I get back in at 6:30, I feel like, bruh, how are you going to get back in bed at 6:30? So I get back and I'm energized and I'm awake, and I just jump in the shower right away to even wake me up even more. Get breakfast, put on an outfit, do my makeup, and that's when I record like the TikToks and all these things. Like, I just get my day started, and before you know it, It's 9 a.m. and I'm starting work, um, by editing, by emailing, I'm just on top of it by 9. And that's happened for me for the past 2 days. And I'm like, this was an answer to prayer. I'm going to link the TikTok down below as well so that you can see all the other tips she gave for beating procrastination and beating laziness. But it really drastically changed my life. I've only done it for 2 days, but seriously, go on a prayer walk. It changed everything. It got me. It's talking to God longer, being secluded, being quiet, just being in your own headspace, you know? Um and just getting to hear from him. And I feel like he purposely showed me that video, purposely implanted the prayer walk idea on my heart, because now I'm like, I don't want to stop. I'm not going to say oh, I'm going to go on a prayer walk every day for the 7 days. I want to make this an everyday thing for as long as, till I feel like I need to stop, basically. Because at first I was like, should I do this for just this week? Something told me in my heart, I'm like, no, maybe 30 days. Then I felt God being like, just do it for as long as you feel like I'm telling you to stop. So I'm like, okay. And I feel like last week when I was talking about ascending in the secret place and how the lady said that she sees me going up, up, up like a helium balloon into the secret place, I feel like this was one of the ways. The secret place does not have to be your bedroom. It can be anywhere. And that's how I found that I can be in the secret place while going on a walk in my neighborhood, I feel like now I'm actually in the secret place where I'm seeking God, because I'm getting up every morning and I'm talking to him. And it feels so nice. And it really I really want you to try it if you don't already. I really, really want you to try it. I'm posting every day on I'm going to post on the podcast Instagram page what it is, what's up. I'm going to post my prayer walk updates on there. I posted one today. So join me. We can do a challenge, Maybe we can do for the month of May, a prayer walk every day for 30 days. How does that sound? Let me know if you're down. And then you can take a picture and tag me in it. Tag the podcast page in it. Whatever. It can be an actual challenge. I'm excited about that. I think starting. Oh yeah, because you're going to be listening to this on May 1st. Okay, guys. Perfect. Starting May 1st. Prayer walk every morning at 5:30. You will wake up, go on a walk, talk to God the whole time, and give me updates. Day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever you feel like, whenever day you feel like sharing, whenever day you feel like joining in. If you don't do all 30 days and you just happen to join in randomly, that would be so fun to see. And then you can send it to me. We can share them. And I can see how your streets look like. I can just see what your neighborhood looks like. And then I can put it in Google Images and search it and find out where you live. Amazing. So fun. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. You can just post your feet if you want. But that would be so fun and cool to see how many of you join me on this. So I am very excited. So yeah, crazy things are happening. And I feel like I'm getting a new sense of the kind of season that I'm in. I've been very frustrated. With God recently. Or I had been, not now. I had been because I felt like he promised me something and he wasn't delivering. And also I feel like he owes me something and he just isn't showing up. So I've just been a bit annoyed and I'm like, God, what's going on? I'm praying constantly. I'm doing all these things and I feel like, what I'm praying for, I'm not getting an answer. And it was because I was looking at the problem and not him. Look at him. Don't look at the problem. The problem is so tiny. If you make the problem your whole world and your whole perspective, you're going to get drowned in it. Look at God, the one that's bigger than the problem. And so he was saying, child, just look at me. Just keep your eyes on me. Talk to me for the purpose of wanting to talk to me, not because you have this need of yours that you want me to answer. Talk to me because you want to be close to me. You want to get to know me. You want to hear from me. Talk to me because you're my daughter or son or a friend. Get to know me. Draw closer to me just because you want to be near me and not because you think you have this problem. Because what is that problem? That problem is nothing. And if I focus on that problem and sure, God fixes it, gives me the answer, then what? Then I stop seeking God. Because I was seeking him for something and I got it, then boom, that's when we're like done. We fall back into our old ways because we only drew closer to God for time because there was a need that needed to be fulfilled. And so when he answers that, you withdraw because you don't need him for anything anymore. And that's why sometimes he holds things back from us. Sometimes God will hold things back from you because he knows that once he gives it to you, you stop looking at him. You stop talking to him. You stop seeking him. So he makes you wait and wait and wait till you realize, oh, the thing that I'm seeking actually is not the bigger picture here. The bigger picture is God. So he makes you wait and wait and wait till you get annoyed and you're like, God, why are you making me wait so long? And then he will reroute you back that you don't even care about the problem anymore and you just want him. And as soon as you lock eyes with him and you're like, all right, babes, it's just me and you, that's when he answers because he now knows I have your gaze. You don't care about it anymore. So let go of it. Let go of it. Focus on him and everything else. Literally seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Like everything else will be added. It's a powerful verse and it's so true. And it's happened so many times where you just, to me, even personally, and I always forget when I'm like in a situationship, I'm going through trials or something. I forget that the key is just seeking him for him alone. The key is just wanting him for who he is and know what he can provide. And even in me saying that, a part of me is like, oh, okay, so I know I can act like I'm seeking God and then he'll answer it. No, he knows your heart. He knows your desires. You think, oh, okay, there's the cheat code. I'm actually going to pretend like I don't care about it anymore and then act like I only want God for God. But then in the back of my mind, I know, oh, if I act like I only want God for God, then he will give me everything. If I act like I'm seeking him first, then he'll give me everything. No, he knows your heart desires. He knows what you want. He knows the intent. The Bible says, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. He knows that deep down you're acting like you're seeking him because you just want this one thing. He's like, ha, gotcha. You can't hide nothing. You can't hide nothing, baby. So generally make it a point to return to him, lock eyes with him again. Do not care about all these problems that are weighing you down because he knows them. And I know it's hard to believe. Like today I was looking up at the sky and I was like, God, like you know what I want. Like there's no point even like continuing to pray and pray and pray. Like you know it already, you know? I don't have to keep reminding you. I'm like, God, rent is due. Rent is due. Rent is due. And it's like, he knows. He knows. He's got you. He has got you. So yeah, I designed my dream engagement ring this week. Met up with my childhood bestie this week for the first time in 11 years. And I started a prayer walk, which is, I feel like, my ascension into the secret place. the secret place of being consumed by Jesus. So that is all. I was gonna tell you a story at the end of this, and I'll slide it in real quick, but it has nothing to do with whatever I said, and I feel like I just said some really good stuff, and I'm gonna ruin it by this random story. But um, Lucas and I were in not Central Park, Union Square, and we were having a big argument, probably one of our biggest, deepest arguments. Like, generally one of the very first times where I had been extremely mad from like the core of my heart, like very mad. And I feel like now that we're looking into like engagements and stuff, like now is the time to bring up those things. Like, now is the time to not let anything on his end or on my end, like, don't let anything slip by. Don't disregard anything, because you have to bring it all up before the ring is here. And now you feel like caged and tied down that you can't even speak up about what you're worried about or what is concerning you. So we had a really long, conversation, and I feel like I needed to let my needs be known, because if you're going to marry me, then you need to know this. And same with him, like, he needed to let his needs be known. And so that before we get too deep into this, we know. And you can never be fully prepared for a lifetime with somebody. Things are always going to come up. But if they're coming up now, you better address them, because it's only going to bottle up and like add up. So we were at Union Square, talking, hashing things out. Randomly, a guy with a red robe, upside down crosses all over the robe, and then like this satanic symbol on the robe, walks up to us. He's like 5 inches away from our face, and he says, he looks at Lucas, he's like, and this is why when I mentioned Dr. Umar, I was saying that I had a story, because this guy was basically against our interracial relationship. But more specifically, he was mad at Lucas. He didn't think that Lucas had the right to be with a black woman. He was a black guy. So he came up, and you could tell he's definitely mentally ill, because no normal person would do this. But he came up and he's like, you better leave her alone right now. Leave her alone. Stop touching her. You are dead. You're a dead man walking if I see you touch her. And Lucas is like, no, this is my woman. And he's like, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And we're like, what? And then he reaches into his pocket, and I don't know what he's gonna pull out, because he's just saying you're gonna die. I'm like, is he about to pull out a knife, a gun? Like, I was so scared. He pulls out a pink vape. A pink vape. And then just like smokes it, sucks it in, and then blows it in our faces. And I was just so shocked. So I'm like trying to push him away. I'm like, leave. And then he's like, and so I'm hitting him. Maybe you shouldn't put your hands on anybody. I wasn't like hitting him. I was just like, my hand was on him to push him away. And Lucas is like, no, babe, like, stop. Like, don't even touch him. And he's like, oh no, she can touch me. She can slap me for all I care. I wouldn't mind. But you, and he points to Lucas. He's like, don't you dare even speak to me, else you're dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? What is going on right now? And so so he blows the vape, and then he just walks away. And we just look at each other and we just start laughing. I feel like, we needed some comedic relief. It was a tense conversation we were having. And so it just kind of made us laugh at each other and with each other, which was probably needed in the moment, but it was so scary and so crazy. We just couldn't believe it. So then he walks away, and then like later that night, something is telling me like I need to pray against like any demons that this guy has, because he blew smoke in our faces. Like, I don't take that lightly, you know? So in the middle of the night, I wake up at like 1 a.m. Something is telling me, God, I said I'm gonna stop saying that something is telling me, and I'm just gonna say God, because God is the only one that can speak to me internally. But God is saying you need to pray against any demons that this guy may have. So I start praying against demons from that guy, and immediately, as I start praying, boom, I fall into sleep paralysis. It was an instant. I got completely paralyzed. And my room, even though it was dark, it got darker. It felt darker. It felt like someone had opened all the windows and the door, and like there was just like a wind chill. Like just a wind, like a gushing cold breeze. So imagine I'm just laying in bed. I'm like, any demons that this guy released, cancel it, destroy it in Jesus' name, whatever. I start saying that. Boom. I fall into sleep paralysis. Immediately, the room starts getting freezing cold. Like, freezing cold. I start shaking. Like, even though I'm in a sleep paralysis state and I can't move, obviously I'm awake. And that's what sleep paralysis is. It's when you're awake, but you can't move. And so, obviously, I'm awake. I cannot move at all. And I feel the coldness. Like, my body is shivering. I have goosebumps all over my body. And I start hearing noises. Am I scaring you yet? I start hearing voices. And they're speaking in Tree. Can you imagine? And they're saying, oh my gosh. They're like, who is she? This is all in Tree. They're like, who is she? Do you know her? What's happening? Like, they sounded confused about the fact that they were there. And they were just like, who is this girl that basically has found us out? That I didn't see anything. I just heard the voices loud and clear in Tree. And one of the voices was like, do you know her? And so I respond, but I'm paralyzed. So I'm pretty sure my lips weren't moving, but like, I said it. I know I said it. I said, no, you don't know me. Get out. In Jesus' name. And as soon as I say that, all the voices quiet. My room returns back to room temperature. I get unparalyzed from my sleep paralysis. And I wake up and I'm like, wow. The spirit realm is so real. I knew the spirit realm was real, and I'm deeply saddened that so many people neglect it. But the spirit realm is so real, and I'm so glad God told me to pray against them, because they were literally in my room probably. I don't know where they were, but like whenever I started praying, I obviously got transported into the spiritual realm, where I was no longer in my room. Even though I was in my bed, I'm no longer in my room, but I'm in the realm where everything is dark and cold and chilly, and I can hear them. So yeah, it's very, very real thing. I never neglect anything that you feel spiritually in your heart that it's not right. That's why you meet somebody and you just like energy doesn't vibe, because spirits, we're all spirits. We're all spirits in a physical body. Like, so that is my crazy story. That also happened. When did that happen? Sunday. So this has just been a wild week. Yeah, I hope I didn't scare you, but it definitely scared me. Like, and then I got up and I prayed a little bit more, and I'm like, yeah, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. But the spiritual realm is real. Do not neglect it. Tap into the Holy Spirit. Tap into the Spirit. Don't be walking around like you're a physical being. You're not. You're a spiritual being. And if you neglect your spirit, your body's going to fall. Alrighty. I love you. I do. Thank you for listening. I will see you in my next episode. You are so, so, so close and dear to my heart. And I wish nothing but the best for you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Have a good rest of your week. Goodbye.